I look forward to this show all week. I hope you know that. This show for me is the absolute high point of my life.
Really? This?
Yeah, this show.
Oh, okay.
High point of my week. What, you find that odd?
Well, the high point? Well...
This show is the only social life I have. Ever since I made that sort of strange speech at the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra prayer breakfast a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, the speech where you said that America would be far better off if we took away the vote from people over 65? You mean that speech?
Yeah, something like that, I forget.
Oh, yeah, and you said that people who keep pets are emotionally immature and are 4 times more likely to commit violent crimes, right?
You know,
that speech.
I was on some kind of an antihistamine that day, and,
Oh, no, that was the
dizzy.
speech in which you said that St. Paul and Minneapolis are essentially one city, so why not merge the whole thing, you know? That St. Paul should merge with Minneapolis and form one city called St. Minneapolis. That was the speech, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that wasn't the worst of it either.
No, the worst of it, the worst of it was when you touched a woman sitting next to the podium.
Yes, I touched her on the shoulder. I did not ask permission before I did it, and then I reached into my pocket. And
you pulled out a cigarette,
I did,
and you
yes.
lit it, and you smoked it.
Yes, I smoked it.
Indoors.
Indoors at a prayer breakfast. And everyone from the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra was right there.
Right. You smoked a cigarette in a room full of people right after you had touched a woman without her permission.
I did, yes.
Right.
I was taking this antihistamine, and one of the side effects of it is a kind of a lightheadedness.
You violated the Minnesota Clean Indoor Air Act, and you harassed a woman all in one morning.
You know, that was not me who did that.
No,
that
you
wasn't the real me.
violated the personhood of another human being. You made her into a thing. You know, a thing.
I didn't even know I had a cigarette in my pocket.
You exhaled smoke, a known carcinogen, on innocent people.
Well, innocent people. These were businessmen who were there, and musicians,
Yeah.
you know.
See, no, you required other people to inhale smoke, and you required a woman you didn't know to accept intimacy.
You know, I quit smoking 12 years ago. This was one cigarette. It was just one touch on her shoulder.
On her shoulder, and that makes it okay, right?
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry?
Well,
Oh, fine. Oh, that helps a lot, doesn't it? 2 weeks later, you say that you're sorry?
Ever since I touched that woman on the shoulder and smoked that cigarette indoors in violation of the Minnesota Clean Air Act, one of the most sacred covenants of the people of Minnesota, people in this city have been avoiding me as if I had smallpox.
Yeah, listen, about dinner next Saturday night, listen, I'm sorry something came up. I'll call you, bye.
I've been ostracized in this town in ways that really, really hurt. Say? Hey.
Move it, pal. We're full up.
Full? You've got lots of parking spaces. Look.
Those are reserved.
I don't see a sign saying reserved.
They're reserved.
Well, reserved for who?
For somebody other than you, okay? Beat it.
The only person who would still talk to me in this town was my dentist, Chuck.
Hi, how's it going?
Well, not so good.
Oh, sorry to hear that. All right, open wide.
Aren't you going to use Novocaine?
Nah, I don't need it.
Are you sure?
It's only a little root canal.
Huh? What? If this had happened in June or July, it wouldn't have been so bad. But to be shunned by old friends on the street in January when we need friendships most. That woman didn't even say hello to me. I was so depressed. Naturally, I turned to alcohol, but all I had at home was this old bottle of creme de menthe. So I drank that, and let me tell you, when you drink a pint of creme de menthe all at one time, you feel this terrible self-revulsion, like you wouldn't believe. It was so awful. And then you go to Alcoholics Anonymous, and they won't take you.
My name is Jim, and I'm an alcoholic, but I didn't drink creme de menthe.
There's a separate AA group for liqueurs, and it meets out in Coon Rapids in the basement of a little tiny shopping mall, and I went, and I was the only man there. It was all women with big hair and big glasses and big dangly earrings.
My name is Luann, and I'm addicted to Bailey's Irish Cream. I drink it because I am depressed over this dress, which I made myself from a pattern, and also my new wallpaper, which looked good in the store, and then I put it up, and it's so ugly, it makes my house look like a 7-Eleven.
I sat in the back of the room. I had a paper bag over my head.
I drink a quart of Bailey's a day, and I also abuse Swanson frozen turkey dinners and Little Debbie snack cakes. Sometimes I pour Bailey's over the snack cakes and eat them with a spoon from a big pie tin as I sit and watch old movies on television.
I snuck out the door and I went to my car in the parking lot, and there was a guy sitting in the front seat.
Hi.
What are you doing? This is my car you're sitting in.
I need a ride.
Well, go stand out on the highway and hitchhike, the same as anybody else.
I thought this would be quicker.
I'm not giving you a ride, okay?
You use creme de menthe.
Okay, never mind. Never mind. Where do you want to go? Tell me which direction. I was so depressed, I tried to make an appointment with a psychiatrist, but she wouldn't see me.
Oh, busy. Bye.
I called 6 other psychiatrists, and they wouldn't see me either. The closest I could get was a podiatrist.
Remove your shoes, please. Off they go.
It's not
there.
my feet, it's my mind. I just like to talk.
Fine, fine, but talk with your shoes off, okay? And your socks, too. That's good. Yeah, put your foot right up here. Now, what's the problem?
I'm depressed. It's my problem. Depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody will have anything to do with me. Ever since I went out of my mind, I was on this antihistamine. I said a bunch of off-the-wall things. I impulsively touched a woman I did not know, and I smoked a cigarette indoors, and people won't let me live this down. I've been drinking creme de menthe, and I've been having these weird dreams, and I feel as if my life is going to pieces. That's basically what's going on.
Have your toes always curled in like this? So, what sort of dreams?
I dreamed that the Jolly Green Giant was extremely short with me, and the Land O'Lakes Indian Maiden.
I see.
The Land O'Lakes Indian. I've loved her since I was 8 years old.
Uh-huh.
She has the most beautiful knees of any woman I've ever known, and she looked straight at me. She was there with her little buckskin and her fringe, and she looked at me and she said, "You know, I think you're eating too much butter."
Oh.
That was not kind.
Where'd you see them?
We were all at the funeral of the Pillsbury Doughboy.
He died?
Of a yeast infection, yes.
Yeah, that's too bad. Nick.
Yes, well, he was a big role model for me.
Mm-hmm. And it was a big funeral?
Well, there were a lot of flowers.
All right, get out of here now. I don't want to hear about it. You're pathetic. Get out of here.
That was the low point for me. Puns, I've avoided them all my life. To sink that low, you touch a woman you don't know, you smoke indoors, you abuse creme de menthe, and what's left? You just keep sinking lower and lower. Puns. Worse than my father. He was a postal clerk. They'd bring him trays of letters. That was sordid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. Can't you tell I'm helpless? You make a mistake. You make a mistake and you keep going down and down and down and you can't pull out of it. How do you pull out of a tailspin like this?
That's right. I know.
Larry.
Hi. You and I were best friends.
Larry.
Huh?
You've come up out of the basement. You've left the basement, Larry. That's great.
I don't know.
You were in the basement for 30 years. Look, now you're out.
I may go back.
Hey, congratulations.
Huh?
This is wonderful. What are you going to do?
I don't know. I might apply for a job, but I'm not sure.
Why? What's wrong?
Well, people are staring at me, aren't they?
No. But don't crouch down like that. Okay?
Looks weird,
Just,
doesn't it?
just don't crouch down and you look fine.
These dark glasses look real geeky,
No,
don't
those
they?
are real cool. Those
And
are
my
cool.
hair looks funny, doesn't it?
You cut it yourself, didn't you?
It looks funny, doesn't it?
No, you did a good job. Where'd you get the coat?
It's dumb, isn't it? the
No.
coat?
I used to have a car coat like that.
It looks dumb, doesn't it?
No, but it doesn't quite cover your sport coat. You see in back how the sport coat hangs down like that in back there?
It's dumb.
No.
isn't it?
It's just a different look, that's all. This is great, you getting out of the basement. What job are you applying for?
I don't know. I think I'd like to be a host.
A host?
Yes. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
This is probably a real dumb question.
No, go ahead.
Do guys still stand around in the corner and watch for a car coming down the street and see who can identify it first?
No, guys don't do that anymore.
Oh.
Larry, they used to, but guys now, they go out to lunch with their women friends and they listen. That's what guys do. Guys don't try to identify cars anymore.
Oh, now that's good because I can't identify any cars.
It's okay.
None. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been in the basement
Right.
too long, and cars are all,
Right.
they look strange. to
That's
me.
okay, believe me.
By the way, what are you doing sitting here all by yourself? I thought you were real popular.
Well, I don't know. I'm going through kind of a rough patch right now.
What happened? You get weird too?
No, but I touched a woman on the shoulder and I smoked a cigarette indoors, Larry.
Oh.
Yeah. And I did a lot of creme de menthe, and now I'm thinking of going on a crime spree.
Boy, you're getting weird.
I just always loved that term, crime spree. It sounded like fun, and I just thought I'd like to try it.
You want to move into my basement?
No. But thanks. Listen, Larry, can I just give you one little bit of advice? And it's not gonna, you're not gonna go to pieces or anything here.
Sure.
Okay. Get rid of the mustache, Larry.
It looks funny?
Well, you're not a mustache guy. You know, some are, you're not, so.
Okay, I'm going to shave off the
Okay.
mustache.
And if you could find a tie that's just a little bit wider.
A wider tie.
Wider tie. Right. Otherwise, you look great.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, Larry. I walked down the street and I thought to myself, you ought to straighten yourself out right now, mister. Try to pick up what's left of your career and not go on this crime spree and bring shame on your family. And then I saw her, a nun. She was about half a block ahead. She was standing there at the curb, waiting. It's getting harder to recognize nuns now that so many of them have gone undercover, but I could tell she was one by her gray scarf and a gray collar and sort of a nunnish quality about her. I've always wanted to tip over a nun, and I never have done that. So I walked up to her fast.
What are you doing?
And I shoved her over.
No!
And just as I did, a huge air conditioner fell right on the spot where she'd been standing, and it smashed to pieces.
You saved my life.
I did?
You're my guardian angel. If you hadn't pushed me, I would have been dead meat.
Really?
God sent you to save my life.
It turned out she was Sister Stella, St. Paul's beloved nun of the bus stops, who brings hot coffee and donuts to people on street corners. And the next thing I knew, I was a hero in this town.
Brett Brewer, Eyewitness News, here with Carson Weiler, the former radio announcer. Carson, what can you tell us about what it was that led you to push Sister Stella out of the path of the falling air conditioner? Was it some kind of voice that spoke to you? How would you describe that for our Eyewitness News viewers?
It was sort of a voice.
Former radio personality Carson Weiler, the man who saved Sister Stella, the nun of the bus stops, from death under a falling air conditioning unit, saying that it was a voice that told him to do it. Carson, one more question, if you don't mind. This is a personal question, but I understand that you recently overcame a very serious abuse problem, that you had a $6 a day creme de menthe habit. Would that be an accurate statement?
It was actually about a $5 a day creme de menthe habit, yes.
Former radio personality Carson Weiler, who kicked a major creme de menthe problem to save the nun of the bus stops from death under a major appliance. An Eyewitness News Live at 5 exclusive. Brett Brewer here. Now back to you, Don and Denise.
The next week, the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra invited me back to their prayer breakfast to receive an award. It was very nice. I sat on the dais in my freshly dry-cleaned suit, and I ate my grapefruit and my toast and my scrambled eggs.
Say you're not going to suddenly, like, touch some woman on the shoulder or
No,
anything, are
no,
you?
no.
You're not going to, like, whip out a cigarette and start smoking it or anything, are you?
No,
Okay.
I'm over that now.
Okay.
Way beyond that now. I learned my lesson, believe me. Once I lived a life of some renown. Everybody liked me in this town. People dropped flowers in my way. I had a big plate at life's buffet, and then I began my slow descent. I discovered what suffering meant. I knew loneliness, grief, and regret, all because I smoked a cigarette. Nobody loves you when you take a smoke. You pull out a Marlboro or even a Moor. They look at you and point to the door. You you stand on the sidewalk and take your drag. You and the lady with the garbage bag. I tell you, young people, it's no joke. Nobody loves you when you take a smoke. So don't get started